Salt. It's a simple mineral, we use it every day. But salt has hidden power, it purifies, it preserves. In the Bible, salt has deep spiritual meaning. From ancient times, salt has been valued. It was used for purification rituals. It preserved food, preventing decay. This physical quality of salt points to its spiritual significance. Salt represents purity and protection. It wards off corruption. In the spiritual realm, salt combats evil influences. We can use this powerful element in our spiritual lives. The Bible is filled with references to salt. Each mention reveals its importance. One key passage is Leviticus chapter 2, verse 13. Season all your grain offerings with salt. Do not leave the salt of the covenant of your God out of your grain offerings. Add salt to all your offerings. This verse emphasizes the covenant of salt. This covenant represents God's enduring faithfulness. It reminds us that God's promises are eternal. Like salt that never loses its flavor, God's love is steadfast. Salt also symbolizes our words and actions. Jesus said, "You are the salt of the earth." Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. We are called to be a preserving influence in a decaying world. Our words should be seasoned with grace. Our actions should reflect God's love. The Bible speaks of spiritual warfare. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 tells us, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." In this battle, we are not defenseless. God has given us weapons. Salt is one of these weapons. It has the power to repel evil. It can break curses. It creates a barrier of protection around us. When we use salt in faith, we tap into God's power. We declare that we are under His protection. We refuse to be dominated by evil forces. Let's dive deeper into the covenant of salt. This covenant is mentioned several times in the Bible. It signifies an unbreakable bond. In Numbers chapter 18, verse 19, God tells Aaron, "All the holy offerings the Israelites present to the Lord, I give you and your sons and daughters as your perpetual share." It is an everlasting covenant of salt before the Lord for both you and your descendants. This covenant wasn't just for the priests. It applies to all believers today. We are God's chosen people. He has made an everlasting promise to us. This promise is sealed with salt, representing its permanence. When we use salt in prayer or spiritual cleansing, we are reminded of this covenant. We are claiming God's protection. We are standing on His promises. How can we use salt in our spiritual lives today? There are several practical applications. Remember, salt is a tool. The real power comes from God. Consecrated salt. You can consecrate salt through prayer. Ask God to bless it and empower it for spiritual warfare. Sprinkle consecrated salt around your home. This creates a barrier of protection against evil influences. Prayer. Add salt to a bowl of water while praying. Visualize the salt absorbing negative energy. Remember, these are just tools. The most important thing is your faith in God's power. Unleashing the power of salt. Salt is a powerful symbol. It represents purity, protection, and God's covenant. But the true power lies in our faith. When we use salt with faith, we activate its spiritual potential. Don't underestimate the power of simple acts of faith. Sprinkling salt, praying over it, using it as a visual reminder of God's promises. These actions can strengthen your faith. They can help you stand strong against spiritual attacks. Embrace the spiritual significance of salt. Use it as a reminder of God's presence and protection. Believe in His power to work through this simple element. You will find yourself strengthened and empowered in your spiritual walk. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights from God's Word.